I've got to put together a list of commands too. I started playing with Mix It Up a bit the past day or two, and threw in some caught some sound effects and some sounds and stuff. I got to put together a list of commands so I can post them in a simple command. Here's one. Let's see.
Such devastation! This was not my intention!
Yeah. Forget what the other ones were there. And I'm trying to add some currency too, so we can do some fun things with currency in the game. You know, just collect things every minute. You should be getting, if I've got it worked right, you should be getting some Zen. Yeah, I've got 19 accumulated so far, it looks like. So yeah, it'll be collecting every minute that you're on stream. And I'll use those for buying, you know, special commands and stuff like that to use along the way. So I'm getting there little by little, adding some fun stuff, trying to get it so it's a little more entertaining, something for folks to do anyways. So anyways, all right, well, let's get back to the game here. We finished the Katana Ravel on Sunday, so that was nice. Got that knocked out. And let's see, the next thing was to speak with Almet here. There we go. Yeah, back to Reaper now for the rest of Shadowbringers. Yeah, I figured I probably should get something more fun to do here, especially if I get to that 50 followers mark. We can do some more things after that. Better have things ready so I can do something interesting. You are returned and unharmed, I see. Indeed, I am pleased to report that the Lightwarden is no more, thanks in large part to you. That the death of a single sin-eater should make such a difference. As our numbers waned, so too did our hope that the ruins we have devoted our lives to guarding would ever find purpose. Yet here you are, the allies for whom we have waited these many centuries, and with your arrival came the chance to pass on our legacy, the ancient wisdom of the Empire. That alone would have been reward enough. Never did we imagine it would serve to banish the light that pervaded these woods. On behalf of the V's, our forebears, and the late Emperor of Ronka, you have our deepest thanks. It is we who should be thanking you. Our journey through the Katana Ravel proved most enlightening. To be privy to such knowledge is an honor, one for which we never hoped. Please, you need not be so humble. We but do our duty as decreed by the late Emperor. Would that he were still with us to express his gratitude in person. But sister, does this not mean our duty is fulfilled? To our allies, perhaps, but the ruins cannot be left unguarded. So long as we live here in these woods, the secrets of Ronka must not fall into the wrong hands. Is Runar still here? No, we escorted him back to Slitherbough shortly after you set out. If you would return to the Knights Blessed, we will not keep you any longer. I suspect they would be glad of your company. Thank you, Almet. I look forward to a day when we might share a more leisurely visit to the ruins of Ronka. We will await your return then. Yeah. See ya, everybody. Bye-bye.
Ah, you are returned, and none the worse for wear, I see.
You needn't worry about us. What became of the Eulmore soldiers, more importantly?
They turned tail and fled at the sight of the night sky. The children of the everlasting dark have also retreated back to Woven Oath. Try as they might, they could not deny the truth of their own eyes. The sunless sea of heaven, full of love and grace, where none need know pain or suffering. In that moment, when the sky's light began to wane, I knew our prayers had been answered. That we were doomed to face oblivion at life's end no longer. When first we met, I harbored certain suspicions about you. Now I see that I was right. You are the bringers of shadow, the warriors of darkness, the saviors for whom we have prayed for so long.
I suppose you're not entirely wrong. But we are not worthy of your reverence, nor have we any desire to be worshipped. If you would pray, pray for your children, that they may one day know a better world.
I will do as you say. But please, let us at least hold a feast to celebrate your victory. You deserve that much.
I'm sorry, Runar, but there is still much to be done and scant time in which to do it. We must go. All of us. For we share the same path and the same fate.
So be it. I ask only that you hold us in your hearts, as we will hold you in ours. Now, and ever after. By the boundless dark, this I swear.
Woohoo, already level 81 Reaper. Getting into Endwalker territory here. Though it pains me to leave, it is time I returned with you and the others to the Crystarium. But before we go, might I speak with you in private? I will await you in my chambers. Thank you for coming. I thought to keep my suspicions to myself, but after witnessing your victory at Raktika Falls, I fear they proved true, and so I must share them with you. From the first, when we met at Fort Gone, your ether has appeared tainted, suffused with an overabundance of light not unlike the Sin Eaters. When you defeated the Lightwarden, I fear the light which poured forth from it was not negated by Heidelin's blessing. Rather, it was absorbed into your being. Urianger also suspects as much, though he is unwilling to share his thoughts on the matter. One thing is certain, with every warden you defeat, the danger to you grows greater perhaps than we can imagine. If you begin to feel anything strange, anything at all, pray inform me at once. You should hurry before the others begin to worry. Once I have sorted my things here, I will join you. I can fly now, that's right. Yay. We took one last patrol of the perimeter. All things considered, Slitherbough remains relatively unscathed. Thanks to the antidote, all those who were poisoned will make a full recovery. And with the night sky returned, their prayers have at last been answered. Sorry to keep you all waiting. Shall we be off then? Art thou certain this is best? I'll not deny there is a part of me that wishes I could stay. For 2 years I have lived with the Blessed, learned their culture, even going so far as to adopt Master Matoya's name as my own. I but pray I did honor it. Now is not the time for doubt or hesitation. Come, we must return to the Crystarium. And that must be where she is now. All things considered, it is hardly surprising that Alphino and Alisay have yet to arrive, but where is the Exarch? My friends, 'tis good to see you all again. Alphino, it has been too long. I assume your presence here means you've brought word of the Warden hiding in Raktika? Found and slain, you say? I should have known. Eulmore has but recently dispatched soldiers to all corners of Norvranth to defend them. I am glad to see their efforts were wasted on the Greatwood. Speaking of Eulmore, what came of your meeting with Vothri? Yes, about that. It proved to be... Exarch, you mustn't push yourself. Your time away from the tower has clearly taken its toll. No doubt you all are tired as well, having traveled so far. Why don't we all take a much-needed rest before we discuss our findings? I thought to propose the very same thing. After your clash with the warden, you deserve a chance to recuperate. It's settled then. We reconvene after everyone has had time to settle in. I love this headpiece that I got for this here. That is so cool. What is that? That's the Revel Keeper's Headband of Maiming. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep that one for glamour for sure. Alright, let's see, let's go over to the pendants. Yeah, every rooster will be envious, huh? Now there's the first... Yeah, that person and I seem to be at the same point in the game, apparently. They've been following me around since... Or I've been following them around since Raktika there at the beginning. Welcome back, miss. Returned from a lengthy excursion, I take it? Well, your room has been made ready, if you'd care to retire. Absolutely. Very good. I pray you sound sleep and pleasant dreams. Of course, Ardbert's waiting for me.
So there's a light sealed inside you, is there? You wouldn't know it from the outside. You look the same as you ever did to me.
And what if that changes? What if it overwhelms me?
I'm damned if I know. It's not as if I can lift a finger to help myself, much less you. Have faith in your friends, look out for them, and hope that they look out for you. What more can you do? Think he was telling the truth? Emmett, I mean. All that rot about Hydaelyn being no different from any other primal. If so, what would that make her blessing? Are we just slaves to her will? Let's pay him no mind. Lies the Ascian stock in trade. Villains, heroes, all a matter of perspective, they'd have you believe. One man's fond memory, another's waking nightmare. Me, I'm no saint or savior. Just another sinner. And I know damn well I'm in no position to judge. When I saw the people of Slitherbough look up at the sky and celebrate the return of the dark, it felt good. It was moments like that that I cherished. Much more than the thrill of adventure. The quiet after the storm. I always took comfort in that.
Meanwhile, in Garlemald,
What did the scouts have to report? Several skirmishes, but nothing of consequence. The fighting seems to have taken its toll on both sides.
A stalemate, then. The Alliance has done well to hold the line for so long. But then they did have Ishgardian reinforcements.
Nevertheless, neither side has any appetite for a prolonged engagement. 'Tis but the calm before the storm. And should the Empire choose to bring their full might to bear,
To say nothing of Black Rose. All the more reason to hasten our search. How close are your people to identifying our next target?
close enough, though I have received some troubling intelligence. One of our generals posted to the Alamegan front recently disappeared without trace from the battlefield at Gimlet Dark.
Odd. Dead seems unlikely. Fled less so. I wonder where he'll turn up.
Were I a betting man, I would say here, in the capital. Not that any deserter who valued his life would contemplate returning, but a corpse might, given the right encouragement.
In the manner of his royal remains, you mean?
Elidibus plainly has no need of a new host, so the question becomes who? It may be that another player has joined the game. Something to consider at any rate. But come, there's work to be done.
These bloodless games make for poor sport. Mayhap if father... Nay. I am a stranger to him in this body. Besides, there is but one hand that can make me whole again. My enemy. My friend. I know not what entertainment occupies you, but if you will not clear the way for me, then I shall seize the reins of fate once more.
I suspected that you might be awake. I could scarce imagine you sleeping through such a commotion. An entire host of sin-eaters appears to be advancing upon the Crystarium. Emergency measures are being taken as we speak. Rest assured, however, that we are safe so long as we remain under the Crystal Tower's aegis. You may return to your quarters if you wish. No, I don't think so. Yes, I thought you might feel that way. And I cannot say that your assistance would be anything less than welcome. I must remain here to disseminate information to the other residents, but you are under no such obligation, and thus free to aid any of the townsfolk who may be in distress. The XIV tends to become a point of congregation in times of need, crowded with those seeking solace and companionship. You would have my personal gratitude if you would offer succor to those there. Then I shall go and offer succor then. Okay. Just run over there then. Few townfolk are about, and you spy none who appear to be in distress. Okay. And I've only just returned from Amh Araeng, yet I find the Crystarium moments from being beset by sin-eaters? Where are they coming from? This shouldn't be possible. We restored the darkness. Well, this is a fortunate coincidence. Brother, tell me you have some idea why this is happening. I may, but for the moment we'll need to postpone such discussions in favor of action. The Crystal Exarch is preparing to deploy a barrier around the Crystarium as we speak. Ensuring that he is able to do so should be our first concern. There are a number of instruments placed about the Crystarium that function as anchors for the barrier. I'm on my way to activate them now. In which case, 3 pairs of hands would be better than 1? Very well. I'll take the ones to the south. I shall deal with the northern apparatus then. Will you handle the western too? They are ensconced on platforms extending from the upper level of the Aetheryte Plaza. Right, I will do that. Just push this button right here, I guess. Out of all the buttons that are probably on that. Despite having very little idea as to how it functions, it appears that you have activated the device successfully. Well, that's good. I would hate to be doing the wrong thing there. Could have just as easily exploded and been game over, I guess. Getting about time I want to change my minion again, I think.
Sin Eaters sighted! They're coming!
Excellent. The barrier is holding.
That's good news for the Crystarian, but what of the rest of Lakeland?
Lena and the city guard have taken to the field. Thancred and the others have already joined them. Let us do the same.
Oh, here we go. I'm looking at the Alpha now. Come on. We ought to join the Vanguard as soon as possible. If the number of eaters we just saw is any indication, we'll be facing a formidable host. Level 76. What lovely weather, just what we needed. It seems the battle has already begun in earnest. Make haste. Crystarian forces are engaging the Sin Eaters at various locations across Lakeland. Assist them in defeating the Eaters before they are decimated. Okay. Let's go.
Let's give it our all!
Okay.
Help is at hand. Leave the healing to me.
You know, I can't heal Alpino, so I'll gladly do that. Only heal myself, you know. Go around this way, I guess. For the imperative? Oh, okay. There's the tower of the imperative. Alright, Tancred and Ophelia. Too late. We'll see about that. See what we can do. Too late for them, I guess. We will press on to the imperative. We're at 51% of the Crystarian forces remaining. It is as we feared. But our task is as it ever was. Turn the tide. Absolutely. Come on, guys. I'm waiting for you.
On your feet!
Next round. There comes the big daddy. Come on over here to the middle.
If naught else will suffice, my strength is yours.
May the 12 guide you.
The stars shall grant peace.
Let's give them a show!
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Keep up!
There are so many. Oh, she's talking.
Hold on.
They turned on me.
We need only hold out a little while longer. Reinforcements are coming, remember? The captain said so. We're going to be all right.
Run! Run, damn you!
The Warrior of Darkness has returned. The Bloody Knight has returned. So stay with me, eh? You can't go dying now.
God damn it!
Please let this work. Please let this work. No. No, no. Stay back. Stay back.
Why did you spare me? Why? What have I done to deserve this mercy? Forward! Forward! If you can still hold a sword, follow me! Wounded to the rear! Weapons at the ready! Let's make this count!
Fight and struggle. Seek salvation by your own hands. Though the losses be grave, endure them. Though the victories be hollow, claim them.
It seems we've driven them back, for the time being at least. The wounded have been collected and are undergoing treatment now. Once they're ready to be moved, we'll have them carried back to the Crystarium. The dead as well, of course. Those whose bodies remain, anyway. The others are helping to treat the wounded. I'm planning to assist in moving them, but even so, we simply don't have enough hands. I'm sure you're fit to fall over after what we've been through. Gods know I am. But if you could see to a few of the patients, it would be an enormous help. Captain Lena is about somewhere, so you might also consider asking her if there are any other outstanding areas of need. We'll talk later. We are on level 76 quests. Oh yeah, my next one is 78 for Reaper. And what is Lou Reek? What is he at right now? He's 76, yeah, so I can go ahead and do Lou Reek in Calusia at some point here too. Just to stay up to date. With tear-filled eyes, the prone man gazes up at you. His fingers twitch, as if to reach for you, but he lacks the strength to raise his hand. Thank you, but it's too late. One of them, it got me. If I turn, please, kill me. I beg you. Don't touch me. I killed her. I killed her. She was one of them, I know, but I...
Oh, I did not see you there. Is there something you need?
No, I'm fine. How are you feeling?
Injuries are part and parcel of battle. While there's breath in my lungs, I shall see my duties done. Don't pretend you're not of the same mind. You fought well today. Saved a great many lives. Thank you. Unfortunately, this war is far from over. We must replenish our ranks and shore up our defenses before they attack again. Now, if you will excuse me. I am fine. Completely and utterly fine. Better than fine. Hale and hearty and still alive to mourn those who are not. Who I failed to protect when they needed me most. We've come so far, so goddamn far. I could have sworn the end was in sight, and now... Now they will never see it.
Impudent worms of the Crystarium! The tragedy that has befallen you is of your own making. Divine retribution for your defiance. The heavens have bequeathed to you a benevolent savior, me. I offer you freedom from pain and suffering. A paradise where man and sin-eater might live in peace and harmony. Already, our winged brothers and sisters regard me and mine as kin, alike to them in beauty and purity. But you not only reject my prophet Anne, but raise your own against my senators. It is only right that they respond in kind. Let this be a lesson to all those who would walk the path of sin. The wicked shall not inherit this world!
Vauthry's ship is already gone. How flattering that he came all this way just to give his little speech. I apologize for my earlier outburst. Rest assured that I have no intention of allowing any of my wounds to affect the performance of my duties, especially not now. If I may, could I ask that you seek out Thancred and Minfilia for me? They endangered themselves on my behalf, and I would feel better knowing that they are well looked after. Thancred in particular sustained quite an injury from that Sin-Eater. I would not be surprised if he were in Spagyrix still. Or Spagyrix, I don't know. Please give them my thanks. You're here for me? I'm sorry to put you to the trouble. I'm fine, really. The Eaters landed an unfortunately solid blow, but the healers here have done wonders. I'm more worried about Minfilia. She's not taken it well. Could I ask you to speak with her? My attempts to reach out seem to have had the opposite effect. She's gone off to the Hortorium, ostensibly to fetch herbs for Chesamil, but just talk to her, will you? Minfilia appears to be lost in thought. Perhaps a gentle poke will get her attention. All right. Poke, poke, poke. Eep! Oh, Anne, what are you doing here? Thancred. It's my fault, you know. I jumped at the chance to help Lena, but I was careless, and now it's my fault. Then you'll be wanting to get those herbs for the healers. Oh, what have I done? I promised I'd be right back, and yet here I am. I know that I need to be better. I'm only allowed to be a part of this because I'm Minfilia, and I need to be more like her. All I do is make mistakes, put others in danger. But you're right, I can still help, if only by seeing these herbs safely to Chesamil. There are only 2 left on the list, but I'll need to ask about this one. I've looked high and low and I can't seem to find it anywhere. Would you mind collecting the other? I would hate to delay any longer than I already have. You're looking for something with soft leaves that's very fragrant, in an unmistakably medicinal way, I was told. We only need 2 sprigs or so. Once you've got them, you can bring them directly to Chesamil. Whoever gets there first can explain that the other will be back shortly. Thank you. I appreciate the help. Nope, not likely to be the right one. This probably not it either. It's the 2 that are separated. Yep. This plant has soft leaves and smells strongly medicinal. This plant has soft leaves and smells strongly medicinal. Awesome. Ah, Minfilia told me that you would be bringing the rest. Marvelous. With this, I can replenish our store of medicines. We're struggling to keep up with the number of wounded that are being brought in. I wasn't on the field, but it doesn't matter. The patients' faces make plain that it was a horrible battle. And we're still fighting it, I suppose, though with bitter medicine rather than sharp steel. But we'll win, I promise you that. It seems that I owe you an apology for dragging you to yet another battlefield when you've just come off the front lines. In both cases, I'm sure your efforts saved more than a few. With Spagyrics in good working order, the Crystarium's people will be well cared for. More lie ahead, of course. Battles only you can fight. Not that we intend to let you do it alone, but that's a matter to discuss with the Exarch. You know the Exarch? We do. Was there something you needed? I need you to tell him something. For me. My dearest friend, you see. He was there on the battlefield with me. But only the one of us is here to speak of it. At the end, before the wound killed him, I heard his dying words. I never knew that our world was this beautiful, he told me. I'm so glad that I got to see the night sky. I don't know how the Exarch feels about what happened out there. I don't know if what Vothri said is true, if our losses are just deserts and we doom ourselves to worse by continuing to fight this fight. But I believe in the Warrior of Darkness, in the Crystal Exarch. I don't think what they've done is wrong, and I don't think we're wrong to fight with them either. My friend, he smiled in the end, just as he smiled when he raised his glass to celebrate the return of the night. That's how I want to remember him. So I want to tell the Exarch, don't give up, don't give in, please. We'll tell him. You have my word. Ooh, what are we getting? New headgear. Okay. If you're ready, why not go on ahead to the Ocular? You can keep the Exarch company while I fetch Alphino. Don't worry, I mean to borrow the swiftest Amaro I can find, so we shouldn't keep you long. Be sure to pass on that message, eh? Welcome, my friend. Tales of your heroism on the battlefield precede you, though I confess I found them more gladdening than surprising. I hear no few of our people have you to thank for plucking them from the jaws of death. Would that they had not needed saving to begin with, but the responsibility for that lies with me. One of our soldiers said that. Thank you. Rest assured that I fully intend to continue our work. I will not shrink from what must be done, now least of all. Though I mourn the lost, I will not lose myself to grief, and should regret be my constant companion, I will follow the path I have chosen to its end. As will I. Of that I have no doubt, and if ever we should appear to falter, it will only be because we are fatigued after a battle well fought. I thank you for your kind words. Now, we have plans to make, do we not?
My friends, with your aid, we have weathered a brutal assault.
Sorry I'm late, though I would not have been had anyone thought to notify me in advance.
As I was saying, it was only with your aid that we weathered this assault. Without it, the Crystarium and all who dwell here would now be gone.
For each we saved, another perished. If there is anything else we can do to help, anything at all, you need only ask. This is our home too, and we want nothing more than to keep it safe.
Thank you. We are blessed to have you with us. As for the attack itself, Vorthri may call it divine retribution, but Sin Eaters are creatures of instinct. A coordinated assault is unprecedented. Moreover, in the absence of a lightwarden, there should have been no compulsion for lesser Sin Eaters to congregate here en masse. All of which points to a single, unavoidable conclusion.
That these minions of light answer to a higher power. He who did claim kinship with them, who did boast of control, not in idleness, 'twould seem, but in earnest. Lord Vorthry.
Indeed. What I mistook for bluster was in fact the truth. The Sin Eaters are his to command. But if he imagines this show of force will convince us to bend the knee, he is sorely mistaken.
I take it your meeting in Eulmore did not end well.
You could say that, yes. But I am wiser for the experience nevertheless. It appears he has mastered a technique which allows him to enslave the minds of others. A fact I discovered when he attempted to use it on me.
That would go some way towards explaining the peculiar reverence afforded him by his subjects. There may feasibly be a handful of true believers among them, I suppose, but it would not surprise me if the vast majority were in his thrall.
Had I not anticipated his treachery, I might well have joined them. But seeing his invitation for what it was, I sent a glamour in my stead. I rather doubt such tricks will avail me a second time, however.
Did you have any luck tracking down the lightwarden in Calusia?
Sadly, I have nothing to report on that front. What of Amh Araeng?
After a fruitless few days scouring ruins, I resorted to asking the locals. While no one I spoke to had seen any sign of the warden, I did uncover a possible lead. An abandoned mine in western Amh Araeng. From what the Maud told me, it would be a perfect place to stay out of sight. Of course, I could never hope to explore such a labyrinth quickly or safely on my own, so I returned here.
Even should we all join in the endeavor, an exhaustive search could take weeks, and with no guarantee of finding anything.
The Wardens harbor vast reservoirs of primordial light, do they not? Far beyond anything found in lesser Sin Eaters. And isn't it true that the Oracle could see the light of a Sin Eater from miles away? Surely a Warden would seem like a blazing beacon by comparison. To the real Oracle of Light, I mean. The real Menphilia. If we travel to Amh Araeng, to the south where she halted the flood, I could summon her back. What do you think?
Don't.
Don't what? Do what I can. What we both know is right.
Do not presume to know my mind. You have no idea what you're proposing.
But I do! I know why you never said anything. Because you thought you could keep me safe by keeping me in the dark. And maybe I thought so too. But I knew, Thancred. I always knew.
Oh, I see. I thought you were a rather underwhelming reincarnation. But it all makes sense now. The Oracle lies dormant within you, doesn't she? But to draw on her true power, you must become one, both body and soul. To wit, one being must consume the other. Who shall be the lucky winner?
This doesn't concern you, Ascian.
But it plainly concerns you. Which is why your heart is ready to burst out of your chest. Despite the raging tempest in your bosom, however, you have never once opened up to your young charge. Now, why would that be? Love. Well, I for one think it's a marvelous idea. Certainly more promising than any of your other suggestions. So, it's off to Amh Araeng we go.
I'll meet you at the gates.
I'm so sorry to be so insistent, but I know this is the only way. If you're willing to give me a chance, come with us. Let's see. I think I will go do my side quest here first. We'll see what trouble Lou Reek is getting into here. And I am more than 10 levels over these things, so they will not be aggroing me. And this is Miss Olvara, the wet nurse who raised me for practically the entirety of my childhood. She was bonded to my family and lived with us in the city at the time, but when I came of age, she was forced to leave. My, you've grown into such a strapping young man, but I can't imagine you came to Gate Town just to pay me a visit, my little Reek. Not in front of her, if you please, but to answer your question, we did in fact come to see you. There were stories you told me as a child of a courageous hunter. Was that hunter perchance the warrior of light, Rendaray? Of all the reasons you could have had. Aye, those stories were of Rendaray, the greatest bounty hunter of her day, the legend so many aspired to become. Less so after the flood. It was still fresh in everyone's minds when I was younger, and for all the good they had done in life, none could deny the chaos they sowed in death as sin-eaters. But despite all of that, me and my mates still looked up to her. We knew all her feats and swore to preserve them, in secret if need be, that she might inspire future generations as she had ours. So years and years later, when you wanted to hear tales of adventure and heroism, I couldn't help but share with you the ones nearest and dearest to my heart. I only wish I hadn't had to change all the names. And it's true. The hero who I looked up to as a child, whose tales of daring do drove me to take up the bow as you had, to pester you for training that I might become a bounty hunter, it was her. Miss Olvara, Anne and I are hunting Andrea, and we believe that one of the stories you shared with me may help guide our search, namely, the one about the great horned beast that killed her friends. Will you tell it to me again? Wicked White, is that... Oh, my little Reek. Very well. Even as a young hunter, Rendaray's incredible hearing was unparalleled. She could track her quarry through a forest by the most minute sounds of their passing, from miles away even by some accounts. Even the most subtle and stealthy beasts never eluded her for long. A misplaced foot, a snapped branch. Eventually Rendaray would know, and her aim was always good and true. As she grew older and honed her skills further, she set her eyes on bigger prizes. she became a hunter of notorious marks, and together with her comrades earned fame and fortune. As their reputation swelled, so too did their egos. Only the most dangerous game would suffice. And so they resolved to hunt the scourge of Norvrant, the devourer of souls, Valem Quits. But what Renda Ray did not realize was that her greatest strength would prove her undoing, for when she faced Valem Quits, the beast roared with such force that it brought her to her knees. Helpless, she could only watch as it claimed the lives of her beloved comrades and fled. After burying the hunters and vowing that she would one day avenge them, she took to the road once more. She met Ardbert and his fellow warriors of light, and for a time she accompanied the fledgling heroes on their adventures. To them, she was a breath of fresh air, a vibrant young woman who savored every moment and found joy in the simple pleasures. They knew not of her fallen friends or how their deaths weighed heavy upon her still. The party wandered the realm, performing many great deeds and growing ever stronger, as did Renda Ray. While in Calusia, she even devised a means to defend against the powerful roar that had been her downfall that fateful day. And then, while engaged in an adventure in Raktika, a rumor reached Renda Ray's ears. Valem Quits, scourge of Norvrant, devourer of souls, had been spotted wandering the Sitia swamps. 'Twas a golden opportunity, but to seize it would be to face the beast alone. She could not wait for Ardbert and the others, nor could she ask that they forsake their sworn duty. But perhaps it was just as well, for the memory of her defeat still haunted her. The courageous hunter had allowed a single fear to take root in her heart, the fear of losing her new companions as she had her old. So it was that Renda Ray ventured forth in secret, resolved to slay her hated foe, Valem Quits, alone. And with all her strength and guile, the legendary hunter did just that. Vengeance claimed, she rejoined Ardbert and the others and never spoke of the terrible battle twixt her and the dread beast. From that day forward, she was Renda Ray, the warrior of light, and the deeds of her and her comrades would be celebrated forevermore. It's strange to think that the woman I admired when I was young would become the sin-eater I swore to slay. What she became doesn't change who she was. Even if the tales were a little embellished over the years, they were rooted in truth. She was and will always be a hero to me, and to you, I hope. Thank you, Miss Olbara, for everything. I promise I will visit you again soon. So, Anne, remember that theory I told you before about the virtues being driven by powerful memories? If Andrea is reenacting the journey leading up to her confrontation with Valem Quits, the one that took her from Amh Araeng to Calusia, then her next destination must be Raktika Greatwood, wasn't it? Right, that was where she laid low the beast at last, in the Sitia swamps, to be precise. And so, that is where we shall go. Let us away. Now listen, Reek, there's an awful lot people don't know about Renda Ray, or the world for that matter. So wherever you go and whatever you see, remember not to take it at face value. Don't just accept what others tell you as good and true. Listen to your heart and decide for yourself. And be safe. Anne, was it? It is such a pleasure to meet a friend of Reek's. His parents never hesitated to provide him with all the wealth and opportunities they could, but when it came to love and support, well, all I can say is that it is a miracle that boy turned out as well as he did. One can never have too many friends or too much support, That goes for you as well, I should think. Thank you, Miss Olvara. Back off to the wood. Oh, glowy event point. Here we go. Better get some water. When I was little, Miss Olvara seemed so much bigger and stronger than me. Though, to be perfectly honest, the way she carries herself even now bespeaks a confidence I cannot help but envy. But never mind that. We have a virtue to hunt. Let us commence our search at once, and keep your weapons at the ready, my friend. About time our luck took a turn for the better. There she is. What? Now? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I wish you were all here with me, but I know it's better that you're not. We have a score to settle, you bloody bastard, and this time I'm ready for your tricks. Alright, what have I got? Dulling arrow. Interrupts the use of an action. Radiant arrow. 25 recast. That's a powerful attack. There's some healing, heavy shot, and of course acidic bite for a dot. Alrighty, well let's see if we can do it then. Let's put that on there. Haha. the count. Yay, Aardvark. Yanking out of there or no? Alright, everybody, let's go. Sorry, man. I dropped it right on the this one's gonna be bad. Getting there. We're almost there. Yay! Hey, Jules, good morning to you. How's it going there? Tough old bugger. Everyone all right? Ardbert, I don't know what to say. Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry for trying to go it alone. And why, pray tell, did you even try to do something so foolish? If we'd been here from the first, it wouldn't have been anything even approaching a challenge. Back in the day, I was a bounty hunter. I've told you that much. But I haven't told you about my old partners. Together, we tracked and claimed countless notorious marks throughout Norvrant. We were the best in the business. Everyone knew our names and our reputation. They called us legends. And somewhere along the line, we started to believe it too. And then we set our sights on Balam Quits. I survived, they didn't. I swore vengeance, but had no idea how to go about pursuing it. Then I met you lot and thought that maybe, with your help, I might just have a fighting chance. So you see, I never intended to keep it all a secret. It's just, you never asked, and since I'd rather not talk about it. Easier to live in the moment, you know. The next town, the next job. The weeks flew by, and after a time, I started having second thoughts. I'd lost those closest to me before. I didn't want to live through that again. Are we or are we not comrades? Through thick and thin. These bonds of fellowship between us must come before all else, otherwise they may as well not exist. You say the thought of losing us pained you. What of our feelings? What of our loss? What if we had not arrived when we did? You've saved our lives more times than I can count. How dare you refuse to let us do the same? And without those keen ears of yours, I'll never know what bollocks Brandon and Nilebird are whispering about me behind my back. And ignorance is not bliss, let me tell you. This one's worth a fortune, and fame besides. I'll wager we won't have to pay for our drinks when we get back into town. Oh gods, not another night to remember. Don't you worry your pretty head over our fearless leader's questionable constitution. Take pride in the victory, for the small folk will sleep easy once they hear of Balam Quits' demise, until Ardbert's drunken snoring wakes them from their slumber. And on that note, I think it time we quit this place. And Renda Ray, I trust that the next time you decide to hunt deadly game, you'll do us the courtesy of extending us an invitation. And there I thought I was doing you a favor by keeping you out of my personal affairs, selfish as it was. Oh, fine, but if you go and die on me, I'll pay a necromancer to raise you from the dead so I can kill you out of spite. Agreed. Now then, mind cutting off whatever it is you need to take back as proof of the kill? I don't want to lose our reward on a technicality. Such a fine crystal. Why not hold on to it as a memento of this occasion? Wake up, damn you! Hello? What's wrong with you, huh? That's the second time your so-called gift has cost us a chance at slaying Andrea. You know what? I've had enough. Enough, I say. Yes, I don't need your help. I am perfectly capable of hunting the Sin Eater on my own. Good luck with that. Upon our return to Gate Town, you will be given your final payment, and we will be free to go our separate ways. Grab that one and finish that and pick up the next one. Honestly, I don't know why I ever placed my faith in you. You are such a disappointment. Huh. Consider this the formal dissolution of our partnership. Let none ever again speak the names Reek and Anne in the same breath. Yes, never again. And with that, I bid you good day. When he was little, Reek's parents punished him for a time by withholding his allowance. Without money to lavish on his friends, he soon found that many were only drawn to him by his wealth. I dare say he feared you would abandon him as they did and decided to push you away first. I'm not trying to make excuses for what he said. I only hope you can find it in your heart to forgive him. Take some time to think it over, then come and see me. Oh, and take this for your troubles. Thanks, Miss Olvara. This is level 78. I am sure a talented woman like yourself is needed all over the realm, and so I thank you for sparing a moment to hear me out. Since you two parted ways, Reek has come to visit me several times. Though he is blessedly in good health, I worry for his spirits. I think you may have been the only friend he has had for some time. I considered journeying to the Crystarium myself to look in on him, but I find travel rather difficult these days. If you would go in my stead, it would put my heart at ease. Sure. We gotta go back there anyways to start the story, so we'll see where that's gonna take us. Reek's customary seat is empty, and there is nothing to suggest he has occupied it recently. Perhaps someone will have noted his passing. That someone being possibly May Tatch. Looking for Master Reek, are we? I dare say you're the only one. Word is Mummy and Daddy cut him off, so there's no point in pretending to like the little shite anymore. Last I saw him, he was moping about like someone had shot his Amaro. I'm sure he'll turn up eventually. Pelusia, right? You're Lou Reek's partner. I was with Landbird, remember? Was, I ought to stress, because after we left you, we headed straight to Raktika. We'd heard a rumor Andrea was there, and Landbird wanted to strike while the iron was hot. By the time we realized we were overmatched, it was too late. I saw Landbird fall, and when the Eater set her sights on the others, I fled. Call me a coward if you like, but my cowardice saved my life. Wicked white, I still remember looking back as I ran and seeing Landbird rise to his feet. I told everyone what had happened to warn them off the hunt. Some listened, but a few bloody fools took up their weapons and joined the hunt. Glory-hungry imbeciles, and not a one of them has returned. Don't expect Lou Reek to be one of them neither. I remember thinking it odd, especially when I saw him leave for Raktika alone. You're meeting him there, I presume. Good luck, friend, but have no doubt that you're going to your doom. There's the other one. Darl Fort. Lou Reek, the Mistel Lordling? If he ain't sat at his usual table, then I've no idea where else to look. I guess we could, no, we'll save that for when we get to story level 78, I think. Alright, let's go wait for Minfilia here at Tessellation. Sorry for the wait. I'm ready now. And you're sure you want to do this? Completely sure? Look, no matter what happens to me, I'm sure that I don't want to go back to being who I was. I want to be stronger, strong enough to face my destiny. And I want to believe that I can play a part in saving this world. I hope you can find it in yourself to believe it too. When you put it that way, how could we not? It is your decision to make. Just be sure that you are prepared when the time comes. If all are assembled, shall we depart? We'll follow your lead. What route would you have us take? About that, there's something I neglected to mention. I saw a Eulmore airship come in to land over Amh Araeng while I was on my way back to the Crystarium. No doubt the same vessel that bore Vothri's forces to Raktika. Meaning we can expect to encounter armed resistance on our journey through the region. Right. Now, Amh Araeng lies in the southern reaches of Amh Araeng, and there are two routes we can take to get there. The first is the eastern route, which would lead us past Mord Suk. The other is the western route, which would require us to pass through the Hills of Amber. Minfilia and I took the eastern route last time. Yes, that's the more well-trodden path. It also makes for easier traversal of the Naboth Severance. But we can't use it. If we did, we'd need to cross the Severance from a point nearby the inn at Journey's Head. If the Eulmorans caught wind of our approach, it could very well bring them into contact with the inn and its patients, and we can be sure their activities would not meet with Vothri's approval. It will make the journey more arduous, but I believe it would be safer to take the western route, which brings me to my proposition. While you make for the Hills of Amber in the west, I will draw the Eulmorans' attention elsewhere, to an area in the east that I know to be uninhabited. That way, you'll have a chance at reaching Amh Araeng unopposed and without risk to civilians. I cannot deny that it's a sound plan, but nor can I allow you to go alone. My skills will make your task at least somewhat easier, will they not? I will accompany you as well. It will afford us a chance to have a proper conversation. And if I go with the others, I'm likely to say something Thancred will regret. Well then, we'll leave the work of distracting Vothri's forces to you. The rest of us will take the western route and try to avoid attracting attention. With that in mind, I think it best that we follow the road from the bridges. We'll move faster with a solid path under our feet. We'll borrow a few Amaro for our own journey. I leave the rest to you, Minfilia. Thank you. I'll try not to disappoint. Off to bring nighttime to another zone. Oops. Here he is. There you are. The gate leading to Amh Araeng is just up ahead. In all the time I've been here, I've never returned into the Hills of Amber. Not that I'm particularly intimidated by new lands at this point, but we have more than enough reasons to be cautious as it is. Keep an eye on Minfilia for me, would you? Open the gate for us, Mr. Hardies. Off so soon, Mistress Adventurer. You barely had time to recover from the battle. That's okay. Well, if you're certain, I'm hardly in a position to question you.
Take comfort in the bonds you share. Accept the pain when the time comes to part. Press on, for joy and sorrow walk hand in hand. Beyond Mount Garrick lie the Hills of Amber, beneath which run hidden veins of mineral wealth. Or ran, at least. Mayhap they are spent. Or mayhap, the ringing of hammers can yet be heard below.
This place has been scarred by the flood too. Who can say what lies ahead? But whatever else this road may be, it is mine to travel, and I don't plan to take a moment of the time I spend upon it for granted. All right, time to change our headpiece. There goes the feather, I guess. What's that looking like there? That's kind of interesting too. Understated, nothing too ostentatious. I take it you're seeing what I'm seeing? Finding a village when we're hardly 10 paces into the hills is a surprising stroke of luck, especially given our recent fortunes. But you won't hear any complaints from me. Let's see if the folk who live here can tell us what to expect from the road ahead. You sell? No. No, you are not. You are no merchant. But then, why do I know your face? Oh, I remember. You spent Verbert gold. Such a coin purse cracking. You are already a legend among moored traders. You're a traveling merchant then. Can you tell us anything of this village? Of course, anything for valued customers. This place is Garrick. Before the flood, it was home to many miners. After, not so many. Now, none. So, Master Gengen borrowed the village, made it into a trading post. Very convenient location. In which case, you all must be familiar with the local roads, correct? We're on our way to Amh Araeng ourselves. If we continue south from here, will we have any difficulties reaching it? Oh yes, great difficulty. The flood rent the stone and crushed the mines surrounding Amh Araeng. Only steep cliffs and collapsed tunnels remain. Oh no. But surely there must be some way. Do you think any of the other moored might have some sort of a hidden route? Perhaps. You ask, they tell. Tell for free even to friends of our best customer. Wonderful. Thank you for your help. Well then, best customer, let's see what information your reputation buys us. Indeed. You wish to go to Amh Araeng? There was a way once, a gondola down from the cliffs, but it was built for those who had left something behind that they wished to retrieve. Now there is nothing left and no one to use it. You may search for it if you like, but I doubt that its rusted wires would bear your weight. I take down the memo regarding the gondola on a spare scrap of parchment. Well, that's good of me to be carrying around spare scraps of parchment. Oh, that is a surprise. Not many bound for Amh Araeng these days. I do know of a trolley that once went there. It used to travel between all the settlements and mines of the Hills of Amber. It is locked behind a gate, however. I assume that will have kept it from being stolen or damaged, but it also prevents it from being of much use. I take down the information on another piece of wrinkled parchment. Or on the same one, who knows? For Amh Araeng, airship is best. Nothing is faster than an airship. The Eulmorans have one, I hear. You can ask them to take you. Yeah. Right. See any ether currents here? Not too far away. We'll hit one on the way, I guess. And I'm afraid I've learned little of use about how to reach Amh Araeng. The Eulmoran presence, though, that's another matter. Apparently, though their army is definitely in Amh Araeng, there have been no sightings of Eulmorans at all in the Hills of Amber. Perhaps we can take that as a sign that Alisaie's plan has borne fruit. Did you have any better luck finding us a route forward? Here's several pieces of information. So, these are our options. Well, what do you think? We could try the gondola. Might die, but I'd rather not if it's all the same to you. If it went poorly, we couldn't simply wave our hands and vanish into the ether like Y'shtola. Not that I would recommend it, even if we could. Okay, let's try all these then. Can we get an airship anywhere? Not from Vothri, obviously. We could perhaps use Amaro, but even from a distance, I can't imagine that the Eulmoran army wouldn't spot us if we were to travel by air. Good point. Gate aside, the trolley seems most feasible. It does seem to be the least risky of our options, and I can't imagine one gate is enough to thwart you. I'd like to know a bit more before we dash off in search of it, though. Perhaps Zunzun can offer some insight. Alright, well, let's go ask Zunzun then. And there's no ether current quests popping up here. And we're getting another body piece. Alright. Oh, valued customers, were the other moored of help? Of a fashion. They told us of a trolley that runs to Amh Araeng at least. But am I correct in thinking that there was a reason you did not do so yourself when first we asked? Yes. The gate, you see. It is impassable. Before, there was a hulking thing of stone, the Talos. It opened the gate, they say. But none operate such a thing now. I do not even know if it yet exists. I do not know, but you should travel east to Mount Biran Mines. That is where the trolley controls stand. I still see miners there from time to time. If anyone knows what happened to the Talos, it would be them. Thank you, you've been a great help. We're off to Mount Biran then. Let's hope that someone will be there to answer our questions. Mount Biran, that's where Kamari was from in Final Fantasy X, if I recall. Or else that was the name of one of the other Ronso. I think it was the mountain, though. And where are we going here? Alright, get oriented there. There we go. Yeah, head off this way. Oops, well, running right past my event point here. The scale of the track is impressive, I'll give them that. Now we only need follow it until we come to the mines. Hey, yeah, I need those. I need them. One more needed. Alright, well, see if I can run without aggroing these things. Alright, 4 more sacks of nuts. Awesome. That ether current's going to be up on the tracks, I think. See if we can sneak by these. Oh, I finished my sack of 2-nut clanmark bills with that last one. Bit of a mess, isn't it? But the mechanisms for dispatching the trolley are here, just as Zunzun said. Unfortunately, anyone who might know how to use them is not. We might wait for Zunzun's mysterious miners to appear or have a look around and see if we can deduce anything useful in their absence. I'm in favor of the latter. Something near the entrance to the mines proper caught Urianger's eye. Meet us there if you find anything. Okay, hello. I guess we'll clear out some of these folks here. Yeah, you're gonna aggro me, aren't you? That's okay, Choco gets experience for those. The cup is slightly warm and a fair amount of tea, steeped over long if the color is any indication, remains within. Is there anything else? Nothing else in there. Iron rail. Flecks of rust adorn the rails, but they nevertheless appear sturdy enough to bear the trolley without issue. What am I looking for here? Up here? I can't. Oh, maybe it's over here. There it is. Yeah, it's that one. All right. Well, we're getting interrupted, of course. The benches within suggest that this must have been a passenger car. Oddly enough, though it is clearly old, it appears to be well maintained. Let's go report to Mr. Uriange then. My goodness, these things are all over the place. Just leave me alone, would you? Ah, Anne, what hast thou discerned? I see. Indeed, thine observations are consistent with mine own. But let us refrain from further discussion ere our comrades arrive. Ample evidence of recent maintenance and lukewarm tea besides. The levers for switching tracks looked like they were in good condition, though I couldn't move them myself. No ordinary person could, I think. It is my belief that no person is meant to. This Talos beareth more than a passing resemblance to golems of the source. Nor doth it appear to be the sole example of its kind. The proliferation of Talos fragments, as well as the enormity of the mechanisms here, suggest a considerable number were once in operation. Alas, this specimen and its fellows now lie lifeless and broken, and I know not how to repair them that they might facilitate our passage through the gate. And without the aid of the Talos, even if thou wert somehow able to unbar the trolley's path, we would still have no means of propelling it. We might not know how to repair the Talos, but someone must. Otherwise, why keep everything else in working order? Whoever is maintaining the cars and rails must know something that we don't. Let's ask them what it is, shall we? And I do believe you'll find a person of some interest skulking in the shadows behind the warehouses on the northwestern side of the tracks. While you two have a friendly chat, the rest of us will gently encourage those to the south to come out of hiding. Defend yourselves as necessary, of course, but do try to keep everyone in one piece. Off we go, then. All right. Of course. Hello, suspicious man. Wicked White, where did you come from? No, never mind that. You have no business here, of that I'm sure. Okay. think so. All right, speak with Thancred now. Just want to sneak past these. Dang, wolves all over the place. Good to hear. These two weren't much trouble either. Let's see what they have to say for themselves. Us, we're not the brigands come to take what isn't ours. Do we honestly look like we'd need to steal, what, some rusted bits of iron? Don't be absurd. We're not here to rob you. A likely story. You look, well... You don't look normal, that's for certain. You don't have any wares, so you're clearly not merchants. Travelers never pass this way. The only reason you would come all the way out here is to strip the machinery for parts. Oh, Thaf, I have an idea. What if, once upon a time, a lovely lady of noble birth ventured forth in search of her lost love, joined by her two most loyal servants sworn to follow her unto world's end. On their journey, they met a sorcerer as ancient as time itself. Moved by the lady's devotion, he offered to be their guide, and they turned up here, somehow. I can only assume that you're being intentionally obtuse, but in the unlikely event that that's a serious conjecture, no. I suppose I am a bodyguard of a sort, but we have rather larger concerns than fairy tale romances. Though I would fain hear more of this ageless sorcerer and his heroic deeds. Gods grant me strength. If I may, we're actually searching for a means by which to travel to Amh Araeng. We were hoping that the trolley here might offer a solution. I realize that we haven't gotten off to the best of starts, but if you know anything about how we might get it working again... The trolley? The trolley! You should have led with that. We're always keen to discuss the trolley. We're both engineers in training, in fact. Jarek and Thaf at your service. Technically, I'm a miner, and he does repair work, but our true passion is the trolley. We're working with a few other folks to get it up and running again. And before you ask, yes, it's true that there's little in need of transport these days, but that's no reason to consign a miracle of mechanical innovation to dust. The mere sight of it traveling the track once again would make hearts sore, mark my words. You'll hear no argument from us. What progress have you made thus far? Not as much as we'd like, truth be told. Well, is there anything we could do to assist you? We could gather materials or help put pieces together. It's a sight more complicated than that, I'm afraid. If you spoke with Magnus, you'd understand. He's the only one with full knowledge of the trolley's operation. I suppose you could speak with him if you like. We'll introduce you. Very well. Our options are limited, and if this Magnus can explain whatever is preventing the trolley from being restored, I'd like to hear it. Right. It looks like you'll be following us back to Twine then. Jarek and Thaf, they seem like this world's Biggs and Wedge to me now. Really into the engineering stuff here. Alright, let's see what our new chest piece looks like here. The Zoner skin coat of maiming. Alrighty. If you're ready, we can leave right now. Though you haven't seen another fellow around here, have you? I thought he'd have come out by now. I smacked down someone else. You think he'll be alright? That's, well, I suppose we did force your hand a bit. I'll have a look, just in case. You go on ahead, Thaf. Alright. Looks like it'll just be you lot and me then. Try not to let anything take a bite out of you on the way out of the rail yard. I'm at eye level 394 here with that upgrade. Alright, well let's see how many of these we can get past here. Don't turn around, Coyote. And you neither. And there's a bird staring straight at us there. Damn, that's smart. Did he have to thump me so hard? I'll be feeling that for the next fortnight at least. Not to be done about it now, though. I've pointed your overeager companions in the right direction, and they've gone on ahead, so we need to get moving. Normally we walk atop the tracks, but seeing as the young lady has a much shorter stride, that's more perilous a route than I'm comfortable suggesting. Wouldn't want anyone falling through the gaps. Of course, the low road presents other dangers, but having been on the receiving end of your friend's blows, I'm not worried on that account. Alright then, let's head on out. Yeah, you're standing right next to a sheep. Okay. Wait a moment. I think I hear something. Oh, that's something all right. Run! That's okay. We don't need to run. And there comes a goat, too. And you're standing in a big purple glowy event spot there. Alrighty. Let's do it. Sorry about that. I'll admit, I didn't expect this route to be quite so fraught with danger. We're nearly to Twine, though, so we should make it without further incident. Alright, another location to add to our list here. Let's do all this first then. This is it. Welcome to Twine. The original dwellings were built to house those laborers tasked with building the track. Over time, miners came to seek their fortunes, and that's what's made the town grow to what you see before you today. But it was still the trolley that brought them here. As you've doubtless noticed, the track goes to the very heart of the town. It was the heart of the town back when the trolley still carried everyone home at the end of each hard day in the mines. Now there is no trolley, nor much work to be had in the mines for that matter. The only residents that remain are the destitute, the delusional, and those with nowhere else to go, or so they say. That should give you some indication of what to expect when you meet Magnus. As I said, it will help you understand why we can't get the trolley running. Just don't expect too much aside from that. Well, that's encouraging, but I don't see that we have much choice. Let's go and meet the man. Who are you supposed to be? Never seen the three of you in my life. Or the four of you? Wicked White, if you're going to bother me, at least have the damn courtesy to stand still. Methinks this one is deep in his cups. These are my guests, Magnus. We ran into them at the mines. They're looking for a way to reach Amh Araeng, so they came to ask about the trolley, you see. What? There's nothing in Amh Araeng. Not anymore. And especially not for frail little girls. Give it up. No, we must reach Amh Araeng. I must. Ah, so you have your heart set on it. The world doesn't care. The place is a ruin, nothing more. And you're not getting there in the trolley. The thing doesn't run on hopes and dreams. We're not fools. It's necessity that drives us to Amh Araeng. If you insist that the trolley is not an option, at least tell us why. No. I'm sick of people asking me about the blasted thing. Leave me be. We'll speak outside. He only said that because he thinks I'm weak. And he's right, but I can't be. I won't be forever. There has to be some way. I must find it. Gemstone trader opened up over here. Very well, you can do this, Halden. Give me your bicolor gemstones. Oh, that's not what I meant. I meant, I have stuff, things, that I could trade you. Does that sound good? be getting leg gear next. Oh, I'm sorry. I was stuck in my own head again. It's clear that Magnus has no intention of helping us, but perhaps we should ask the other residents. They may know something of the trolley. I'll take the north side of town. Let me know if you learn anything. Thancred, art thou truly content to stand witness to fate's course and take no part? This isn't a matter of fate, Urianger, it's about choice, and I've had years to decide where I stand. Minfilia has spent too long in chains already. I would not shackle her again by making my hopes known. It is for her to choose what shape her destiny will take. It is for me to stay silent, to protect her, to teach her, and stand by her. That, at least, I can do for her. So be it. Come, let us make our own inquiries. Yeah, Jarek, you are a talkative resident, I'm sure. Oh, there you are. You'll be pleased to know that I got our friend back home with no trouble, and he's just fine. He was a bit shaken up is all. And you? What did Magnus have to say? Ah, I did have a faint hope that your need might prompt him to action where our interest has not, but I suppose that was foolish of me. I am sorry that we couldn't be of help, though. I could at least show you the trolley car we have here if you like. You could give it a stroke or two. It has some very smooth wood. You mean to say you're not giving up, even knowing that Magnus is Magnus? I don't see much point in your being stubborn about it, though perhaps stubbornness is exactly what this situation calls for. Can't forge iron without an anvil, after all. I can't imagine that anything you try will work, but if you're certain, you can help me make preparations in the event that it does. To that end, take this toolbox. We're going to inspect the rails. I'll have a look along the tracks for anything that's in need of repair. You bring the tools and be ready to hand them to me whenever I stop work. Alrighty then. Open the toolbox, and there's our ether current in the distance. Oh, this should be fun. I open the box, revealing the proud array of lovingly maintained tools within. Brilliant. Now, if you could hand me what I need as I work, that would be a help. In this case, well, this bolt is loose for one matter. We can't have that. I'll need to tighten it. Let's give him a vicious-looking saw. Here's a saw. You can just cut it off. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. I need something to tighten the bolt, please. Try the cloth. A ragged cloth. Here you go. Just grab it and turn it. I could use this to wipe any excess oil clinging to the bolt, but I don't think that will be necessary in this case. I'd like to move right to tightening the bolt, so please hand me the tool for that. Alright, here's a mid-size wrench. Thank you, this one will do nicely. Now, give me one moment and... There. I don't see any other problems here, so let's continue along the track. And there's our ether current. And again down here, open the toolkit next to Jarek. You set down the toolbox, the muscles of your arms enjoying profound relief, and open it once again. You're quite handy to have around, you know? As to the lamp here, these aren't often necessary these days, but if we're going to do this, we might as well do it properly. And if, by some miracle, the night returns, as it did in Lakeland, well, it's a nice thought. Anyhow, a bit of this post seems to have splintered. Whether its lamp is to be lit or not, we wouldn't want these little pieces of wood jabbing the next person who comes through here to do maintenance. I'll need to sand it down a bit. Sure, let's try a bulky saw. You can try cutting off that splinter there, would you? Sure, I'll simply hack at it with this mask. Honestly, what are you away with, the Fae? We're trying to prevent splinters, not chop down the post like a tree. Now, hand me something a bit more delicate, if you please. All right, why don't you just pound the splinter back in there with this heavy hammer, then? You have an interesting sense of humor. Now, can I have the proper tool this time? Here's a rough file. Yes, a wood file's perfect. Let me even this out. That should do it. I'll bring some varnish along next time to finish the job. I haven't spotted any other problems, so we can move along now. Unless you'd like to take in the view of the tracks from here for a bit longer. It's breathtaking, I know. Mining has always been the primary vocation of folks in the hills of Amber, you see, but after a certain point, they had dug up everything that could easily be reached and carried back by manpower alone. It was then that the Naboth Empire struck upon the idea of the Talos, which they had seen at work abroad. At great expense, the Naboth brought the Mistel engineers who specialized in Talos here to the hills, and wouldn't you know it, the mining industry picked right up again. Twine itself sprung up around that time, as a matter of fact. It was named after the entwining of tales, the fruitful cooperation between the native Ronso and the newly come Mistel. But that, like so much else, fell apart in the wake of the flood. The Mistel left, taking their knowledge with them. It was 15 years ago that the last of them, the folks from Daedalus Stoneworks, took off for Eulmore, and now no one remains that can repair and operate the Talos. But there's no use in lamenting what can't be changed, and there's one more thing we need to do while we're out here, so we might as well get to it. Vultures occasionally make their nests on the tracks, you see, and it falls to us to remove them when they do. The creatures are angry when disturbed, which is natural, but nevertheless a danger to anyone passing by. It's not my favorite task, to be honest with you. As you may have noticed, I'm not terribly suited to confrontation. That said, would you follow the tracks north and remove any nests you find for me? I'll keep an eye on things from here. Destroyed. Alright, back to Jarrett. Thank you. That should be everything taken care of. In return for your help, I'll tell you a bit more about the trolley. Nothing that can get it started again, though. As I said, the only people who knew how to repair the Talos are long gone. When they left, the life began to bleed out of the town. The trolley's tracks rusted and its cars fell into disrepair. Now, I was born in Twine, raised there. My first word was trolley, damn it. And those were the worst years of my life. But then, about 7 years passed, Magnus and his wife returned to us. Magnus is a real proper trolley engineer, and perhaps he would never have left in the first place if it hadn't been for his son. As you're well aware, Amh Araeng is hardly the safest place, and Magnus wanted his child to grow up away from its dangers. It didn't help in the end. The Sin Eaters got the boy. Isn't that always the way? The child had always said that someday he wanted to see Magnus's trolley running again. So, in his memory, they returned to Twine, started fixing those rusted rails and broken cars, and it was going well, for a time. Wicked White! Vultures, are they back for revenge? Never mind, I don't want to find out. Nice work out there. And now you know the story of the trolley. Won't do you much good without the Talos, though. If there was even a single one that still functioned, things might be different, but, well, here we are. Alrighty. Not that it'll do you any good, but we do have a Talos we've been meaning to repair. I can show you if you'd like. It'd certainly be nice to hear something other than Magnus's griping for a change. Oh, and we got some an ether current quest here, it looks like. Alright, quick-witted scavenger. Oh, my poor friends, left to be eaten by horrid beasts. I feel terrible about running away, but what choice did I have? No point in us all being killed now, is there? Finding someone to go in and retrieve the bodies, rescue them, would absolve me of the blame, yes? If you could go to the ruins of Kelk to look for 2 moored scavengers, I would be very grateful. Sure, might as well go run and do that then. I am alive? Can it be true? But it is too early to celebrate. The youngest of our group is still missing. Please, you must find him. I will wait for you outside the ruins in case you need help carrying whatever is left of the poor boy. Phew, that does count. Does that count as a near-death experience? I cannot wait to tell my friends. But first, we should make a hasty retreat, yes? cannot thank you enough for saving us, but how did you know we were here? Running away turned out to be the best choice. Not only did he escape, but he sent for help too. If he had tried to rescue us himself, we would probably all be dead now. Better to run and scavenge another day, yes? I must remember to thank him. All right. And back over to look at this old Talos here too. Truly a most vexing state of affairs. I thought mayhap a closer examination might yield something of value. I see. The means to build Talos stone by stone are lost to us, 'tis true, but here before us slumbers a most fine specimen. Indeed, were it not for a few minor failings, it would be in working condition. Will likely require naught but a few modest repairs and a suffusion of ether. Well, if you think you can get the thing up and running, far be it from me to stop you, but what exactly do you reckon is the problem? I should stress that I have performed only the most cursory of examinations, though such arcane constructs are not wholly unfamiliar to me. As I did suspect from the first, it is host to a network of veins through which ether floweth freely. Or so it would, were it not for several fractures which now impede said flow. How in the hells did you get all that from just a glance? I take it you've thought up a solution as well then? To bridge these fissures requireth a material highly conductive to ether. Once in place, I believe it will be possible to restore the Talos to life. Might I prevail upon thee to acquire that which we require? Not far beyond the walls of twine dwelleth a creature of living stone, the Debatage. Full sure am I that stone from such a being would prove most suitable to our needs. All right. Very good. I shall have Thancred and Menphilia attend me in the remaining preparations. I spied but 3 obstructions to the flow of ether in the Talos, and thus would I ask you provide 3 stones of the Debatage. All else will be made ready upon thy return. Awesome. So let's go take out 3 of these things then. Down. Alrighty, that was easy enough. Thancred and Menphilia will return ere long with the remaining supplies we require. Didst thou succeed in procuring stone from the debitage? Yes, I did, Oriange. Fine specimens, one and all. You have my thanks. We need now but wait for Thancred and Menphilia's return. From end to end, the paths by which ether may flow through the Talos have been duly mended. They but require a sufficient endowment. It's not moving. Strange. The core refuseth to stir. I fear the condition of this Talos is more dire than I previously surmised. As a heart driveth blood through a man's veins, so doth the core ether throughout this massive frame. Failing its repair or replacement, the Talos cannot be restored. So it was the heart after all. Thou didst foresee this outcome? Well, no, not exactly. We'd never gotten this far in trying to repair it, so we had no way of knowing the heart was the real problem. We tried to find another, in case things turned out as they are now, but... Jarek? This isn't really my story to share. Please, Jarek, if something went wrong, maybe we can help. All right. After all you lot have done for me, I suppose it's the least I can do. Ooh, will we get another weapon coffer? Right then. The Talos, their hearts cannot be made of just any stone. You need a special sort with sufficient ethereal conductivity. Both it and the other materials used in the construction of Talos bodies are mined in the same place. That place, of course, being here, the Hills of Amber. And it was 3 years ago when she... No, I can't. I'm sorry, but you'll have to hear it from Thaf or someone else. Back to the tavern, then. Still here, eh? You can ask again, but the answer's the same. Our trolleys are... What? God's damn it, Jarek. You could have at least finished so I wouldn't have to clean up your mess. Seeing how you made such quick progress in fixing that Talos and all, he was probably thinking you could help change things around here. And I think he may be right. Gather your friends and I'll tell you what you want to know.
Magnus's wife was a miner, you know. Greatest prospector there ever was. When the golem heart started failing, she was the first to head out in search of more. Problem was, most of the veins ran dry ages ago, and finding fresh ones to tap's only gotten harder. But she wasn't one to be deterred. She just kept digging deeper and deeper. And then the mine collapsed. We labored day and night to clear away the rubble, but it took us 2 months to find her. To find her body. Magnus has never been the same since.
Where is he, if you don't mind my asking?
Ah, yes, well, if he's not here, there's only one other place he'd be.
What? Oh, you again. How many times must I tell you? The trolley won't run! We'd be better off dismantling the damn thing and selling the parts for scrap. Now, piss off back to wherever you came from. And don't let me catch you around here again.
What were their names?
My son was named Skuli. My wife, Agna. Being here with them, it beats going home. Home stopped being home when I lost them. I thought to try and drown my sorrows, but somehow, the bottle's never deep enough.
No bottle is. Believe me, I know.
You've lost someone too?
Not like you. Not my own flesh and blood. I grew up an orphan, so I never really knew what family meant. Not until I met a man who offered to take me in and make me his pupil. He was a kindly soul, always looking out for me, like a father. Not that I appreciated that at the time, or anything else for that matter. But I finally had a family. And then I robbed a young girl of hers. I did my best to make amends, to offer her comfort. But the more I look back on it, the more I realize just how inadequate my efforts were. I let her down. That is why I refuse to let her legacy die. In the end, all we can do is press on, for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. And that requires your Talos. Please, Magnus. You are our only hope of reaching Amh Araeng.
What rubbish.
She's not gone. No matter what you say or believe, she's not. We can still bring her back.
Full well do I know the pain of loss and how heavily it can weigh on one's heart. Nevertheless, there is but one way forward. We must needs procure a new heart for the Talos. Thaf, knowest thou any location wherein we might find the stone we require? No matter how scant the possibility, we would seize it. I told you near all the veins were tapped dry years ago, though I suppose if you really wanted to try, you may find something at Nuvi's Leavings. It was opened well before Talos became commonplace, which is why the mining there was never quite as deep. When you get there, look for Guthjon and tell him I sent you, but don't be surprised if he tells you the same thing. Thine assistance is most appreciated. And I think it best Thancred join thee in this search. Though he would be quick to deny it, his heart is in turmoil and his thoughts clouded. It would be unwise to ignore his distress. Off to somewhere, are you? At last, a lead on the stone we need to power Talos. I can't very well have you go on your own. Lead the way. New weapon. I like that last one. That was pretty nice. 395 eye level now. Level 77 quests now. I'd say we're long overdue for a good turn. I can only hope the gods feel the same way. Now, Nuvi's Leavings was to the south, wasn't it? Let's get going. And another ether current quest. Have you seen a charm like this before? I found it among the stones brought from the mine. A lot of the workers wear these for good luck, and I expect whoever lost it is wondering where it went. It's the first time I've seen one made from cat's eye, so the owner shouldn't be hard to track down. I'd go and look for them myself, but I've got too much to do here. Would you be able to go in my place? The graveyard keeper is quite knowledgeable about charms and whatnot, so it might be worth asking him. What's that you have there? It's a cat's eye charm. Oh, yes. Cat's eye charms like this were once used to ward off misfortune. The tradition began with the Church of the First Light, and the gem represents their patron deity. Even though no one follows that old religion anymore, some of its customs remain, especially among the miners. You don't see many this exquisite, though. I seem to remember the fellow with an eye patch kept a similar charm around his neck. It might even be the exact same one. I never caught his name, but he's not hard to miss. The last I saw of him, he was leaving to mine Nuvi's Leavings with some of the others. And this is where we will leave it for today, then. We'll be back tomorrow for Infinite Undiscovery, and back for more Final Fantasy XIV on Thursday morning at 6:30. Be here tomorrow at 6:30 for Infinite Undiscovery. And thanks for hanging with me today, Lily. I appreciate that. And I don't think we're going to bother, probably not going to bother raiding out anywhere today. So have a great rest of your day there, and take care of yourself. We look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.